It's a little loud. Okay. Just taking a few moments to tune in. A few deep inhales in and out. And let's really ground into this moment. And allow the rest of the day and thoughts and feelings and responsibilities to just drop away. And giving ourselves permission to be fully present here and now. As through this process, we'll be tuning into our heart. And when our heart is competing with our mind, we can sometimes second guess its whispers. It's always a good idea to take as much time as we need to settle in. And welcome to this space. So why feminine power? We so often associate the concept of power with the masculine, with all the doing, with the strength and force. But everything in this universe is made up of both feminine and masculine energy. So if you have a more analytical way of seeing things, or if you are like me and you love psychology, you may have heard of the feminine and masculine traits. Or if you're more into the spiritual world, you may have heard about feminine and masculine energies. But ultimately, it's the same thing. And so many people will have many different words for explaining the same thing in different ways and with their own vocabulary. But what I like to do is just kind of cut out the fluff and bring it down to really the basics of what that actually means for us. And what I feel is really important to note is that we live in a society that has been for very long completely balanced towards the masculine. We seem to prioritize everything that is masculine as if it's, more worthy because it makes sense, it's tangible, it's effective. The whole corporate world is built around it. People who are very unbalanced in their masculine tend to succeed in the corporate world, which is why we have a lot of people leaving the corporate world at the moment and trying to escape from that structure, because there's a lot of ego, there's a lot of push, and people are burning out at a rate that is absolutely phenomenal and quite heartbreaking. And the feminine, we have so much trauma around the feminine because we have been conditioned for generations to believe that the feminine is weaker. We talk about the weaker sex, and that women are somehow believed to be dependent on men. And as much as this may be true for the last few generations, or maybe the last couple thousand years, if we go far enough back in every single culture, there is this understanding and this great respect for the feminine as in the ultimate goddess. And it comes back to the earth and the fact that, we are the creators, we are the wisdom keepers. And although this may be somewhat uncomfortable for some men to fully acknowledge, is that the masculine is here to be the structure for the feminine to grow. The feminine energy is all about growth. And if you look at nature really demonstrates this to us. And I feel like the way I love to explain it is, it's like the masculine energy is the trellis, and it's the structure on which the feminine vine grows. So without that structure, the feminine would just be all over the place. Like, we know this, if we were completely fully in our feminine and in our, compassion and empathy and creativity, we'd just be all flowy and we wouldn't get anything done. So we need the masculine. But if you really look at the structure of the masculine and that action, that strength, it has no purpose without the feminine. And we both have a part to play, and we need to play this together. And this is not about, when I say feminine, masculine, we're not talking about men and women. We're talking about these energies that are existent within each and every one of us. But as women, we are the holders and the potential embodiments of divine feminine energy. Although a lot of us are not, currently we are not. We are very wounded within ourselves, and we hold a lot of the generational trauma, the collective trauma, and our own pain and our own shame towards, the true power that we have. And that's something that I fully understand, but I'm here to help you remember who you really are, what you're capable of, and what you came here to accomplish. Because the truth is, we often get caught up in believing that we should want something, or we should aspire for something. But the truth is, we all have a very unique purpose and a very unique path. And we cannot necessarily... Sorry, honey, can you I'm going to ask you to mute yourself, just because I know that you, my darling, often jump in and there's a lot of noise behind you. So I was just talking about this, how we have these two energies within us, and we tend to push down the feminine aspects of ourselves because of what we believe we should be doing, because we live in the society that has given so much value to what we accomplish and what we do, and not enough value to who we are and to our true presence. And that's where the power of the feminine lies. And to be honest, I'm not here to give you a history lesson and talk about the patriarchy, because it's not actually something that interests me. I have no interest in talking about how the feminine has been crushed for generations, because the truth is, what I truly believe is that as a collective and as society and as a conscious evolution, we needed that. Although it was incredibly painful for each and every one of us and for the earth herself, we needed that in our conscious evolution. Sometimes we need to go to very dark places to realize that we never want to go there again. And I'm sure that each and every one of us has experiences in our lives where sometimes it takes really getting to that deepest, darkest place in your life for you to somehow grasp together the strength to pull yourself out of that, because you know how bad it feels. You know that you'll never go back there again. And on our journey and our evolution, we all kind of sway back and forth until we really find ourselves in the middle, and then we find our strength and we find our power, and we're never willing to give it away again. But the most difficult and the most challenging journey is to gather up that power, because it lies beneath the pain, all of the pain that we felt. And it's not just the pain that we felt, it's the pain that our mothers and our grandmothers and the earth has felt. We're all connected to that. Everything is connected and nothing is random. And because we all have a part to play, we all need to tap into our own courage to play our part and to not expect somebody else to do the work for us. And so that's why we're here. And I know that that can be challenging, because we come into this human experience and we forget how powerful we are. But that's the point. The point is that we're not weighed down or distracted by all of the many lives that we've had before, and we get to really focus on what's here, what's now. And what I believe is that, a lot of people in the spiritual world want to know who they were in past lives, because somehow it gives them this sense of power. But the reality is, you have power in this lifetime. Who you were in other lifetimes is completely irrelevant, because they were different dimensions and different times. And right here, what is it that you can accomplish in this life? And how can you be the greatest creation in this life and the greatest embodiment of the love that you are in this lifetime. And by getting distracted by everybody else's opinions and all of your past life experiences, you can get really, I guess, just a little bit off track with what is right in front of you now. And so my work is to really guide you, but not to tell you what to do, because I know that you are incredibly powerful. You may have forgotten, but I'm not here to tell you what to do or to point you in the right direction. I'm here to help you figure out what it is that you truly desire, and then give you the courage and the support and all of the resources that you already have to go and do the damn thing, because nobody can do it better than you. And it's not my job to micromanage the universe, nor is it yours. And there is a big difference between the energy of the girl who is learning, who's trying to, find people to tell her what to do and is trying to find instruction and asking permission, and the woman who steps into her own and really decides what is on her heart and leads herself. And that's what I really desire for you, is for you to find the courage and power within yourself to lead yourself, because you already know. You know what you want, you know what you desire, because it's the one thing that lights you up. And there may be a lot of things in the way that are distracting you, but that's what we can do together. We can unravel all of what's in the way of you really, truly knowing and trusting yourself. And so that's the simple way of putting it. It's not easy. The reason that we have this pain and we have this trauma is because we were hurt, because we are sensitive, because we have beautiful hearts, and we have grown up in a really harsh world. So I commend you for being here in the first place. I actually had a few messages on socials from people saying, oh, that sounds amazing, but it terrifies me. And I'm like, that's cool. That's okay. Like, you come when you're ready. I'm not going anywhere. So this process, I have a vague idea of what we're going to do because I've done this kind of thing before, but I'm really going to channel the process here for the people in this group, and we'll see how this goes. So first of all, I want you to put your feet flat on the ground and uncross your legs. I mean, it's hilarious how as women we give up our power willingly by putting on heels and disconnecting ourselves from the earth that holds us and gives us energy. And then we cross our legs consistently, like, hide all of that away, like be modest. And it's like, no, your power lies in your femininity. But by crossing your legs and putting your energy all contorted into a weird position on heels, you lose a whole lot of your strength. And I've tested this with a lot of women, and we talk about these power poses, right? Like standing like Wonder Woman. And you feel powerful. You feel powerful because you're aligned and you're anchored into the ground and you're reminded of who you are. Suddenly, when you put yourself up on heels and you contort yourself into clothes that are actually quite uncomfortable, you lose a little bit of your power because you're worried about how you look and you're worried about not being fully comfortable. And that's distracting your mind, again, like I was saying earlier, distracting your mind from the whispers of your heart. So make yourself really comfortable. And if that means taking your bra off, like, you go nuts, babe. Whatever it takes for you to come into your body and feel safe in your body. And I know that that in itself can be a bit of a challenge. So just be really gentle on yourself, taking a few deep breaths. And imagine that you're drawing your energy back from all of the places and all of the things and all of the people who you are connected to. Just for now, pulling your energy back inside your body. Take your time. And I just want you to remember that if at any point during this process you feel a little bit like you don't quite know what we're doing, you're not quite sure you're doing it right, that's normal. That's normal. That's just your human self. That's kind of maybe learning a new skill. But I want you to know that on a soul level, you have done this before. You know what we're doing because you're coming home to yourself. So I'm going to ask you to just allow me to guide you because I'm connecting straight in with your soul. So it doesn't matter if your mind doesn't quite know what we're doing because your heart and your soul know exactly where you're going. So just breathing deeply. And for a moment, bringing your index finger and your middle finger up to your forehead, because this is normally where we have most of our awareness. It's in our mind. Our mind is busy. It's holding all the thoughts and the beliefs that we tend to, as human beings, associate with. It's not who you truly are, but it's part of your experience. So we're going to honor that. But I want you to very intentionally guide your energy down from your head, guide it over the bridge of your nose. Taking a deep breath in, feeling the air as it moves through your nasal passages, down into your lungs, and just follow. Bring your fingers down to your lips and just rest here for a moment. Noticing how your energy feels here in your mouth, in your lips. And some of you may kind of out of nowhere have a bitter taste in your mouth. That's kind of symbolic of all the times where your voice has been shut down or you haven't been heard, you haven't been understood. I want you to honor that and just know that it's okay. It's okay to have all the feels. And then just guide your fingers down here to your throat. And just again, noticing how it feels. And this may be a little uncomfortable. You may feel your heart rate accelerate a little bit. We've all at some point had our selves hurt, our choice taken away. We've been forced into something or another, whether it's somebody else's expectations or somebody had power over us. And that can show up in the throat. It can affect your voice. It can affect your ability to communicate your truth or to even know your truth. So just take a moment to breathe, just wrapping yourself in a whole lot of compassion. You've got this. And now drawing your energy to your collarbone, just feeling how it feels here. Bring your awareness to your high heart. As we start here to tap into a deeper truth. And drawing your fingers down closer to your heart space. Just applying a little bit of pressure, because as we apply pressure, our focus point knows where to go. It knows what to do. It's got a little bit of direction, and we're helping the mind be less distracted. So just noticing how it feels here. And for some of you, you may really feel vulnerability. You may feel sadness or anger. And I just want to remind you that you're allowed to feel. And although it may be quite uncomfortable, I'm right here with you. And your feelings they don't actually have the capacity to hurt you. It's your resistance to them that creates that pain. So as much as you can, just allow yourself to breathe and to soften and be really gentle with your heart. Now I want you to imagine a point of light in the center of your heart. as if there's a teeny tiny sun in the center of your chest. So it may be just like a ball of golden light. Or just notice that maybe it's golden, maybe it's green, maybe it's pink, or maybe it's white, or maybe you don't perceive color at all and it's just a sensation. Or maybe you're finding it a little bit difficult to find that. So I just want you to trust that right there in the center of your chest, there is a portal that has access to way more than your mind can comprehend. And we're just going to give it a symbol. So the symbol for now is a ball of light. And I want you to take a really deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine that you're expanding that ball of light like a balloon, expanding it to the size of a tennis ball within your chest. And notice how that feels within your body. Give yourself permission to take up space. And another really deep breath in. And as you exhale, expand that even further so that it's the size of a soccer ball. It's really expanding your chest, making you feel a little bit taller, a little bit stronger. And another really deep breath in. And breathe out, expanding that ball of light until it encompasses your shoulders, your heart, your back. And one last time, deep breath in. And expand it so that it encompasses your whole body. And just feel how you are completely held in this beautiful orb. And you've created that. That is not something that anybody else has given you access to. Like, you have created this with your own energy from your own heart. So let's just pause for a moment, give yourself a little moment to realize that you are so powerful and that you have the ability to create within your own body. How magic is that? And now I want you to, without any expectation, placing the palms of your hands onto your heart. We're tuning deep into your heart and we're going to ask a question. And maybe the answer will come to you straight away, or maybe it will come to you in a couple of hours or in a couple of weeks. And my love, there is absolutely no rush. Because here's the thing, our heart, our soul speaks symbolism and speaks energy. And it may take a little while for your human to be able to translate that. But I know that each and every one of you is intuitive and you'll find how to do this in your own way. So I want you to ask your heart, what do I truly, truly desire more than anything else? And it's not going to be a thing. Or if it's an object that comes to mind for you, what does that represent? Say, for example, if you had a vision of a car, does that car represent freedom? Does it represent the ability to go faster? What does that symbolize for you? Or if it's a sensation, notice how it feels in your body. And take your time with this. I'm going to put on some music and I want you to really give yourself permission to just be with this heart desire. What does your heart desire more than anything else? And even if it doesn't make sense, be patient, be compassionate, and listen. Listen with your whole body. And whatever that desire may be, I want you to give it the form of a seed. So this may be a large seed or a tiny sunflower seed, or something even smaller, a poppy seed. And I want you to draw it down using that pressure that you've placed on your chest. Just draw it down gently all the way to your sacral, to your womb space, your lower belly. This is your creative center. You see, we don't create from the heart. The heart brings us the message. We create from our creative center. So this is where you will plant this seed. And this is where, my love, I'm going to invite you to nurture this seed in the seat of your feminine power. And this may not be as simple as just planting a seed and watching it grow. Because within this creative center, we hold the power of the universe, but we also hold a lot of pain, a lot of insecurities, but that is not who you are. You are not the beliefs that you have picked up along the way. You are not the unkind words that others have said to you. You are not the fear that has been planted there. You are so much more than that. It's one thing I know to be true is that the feminine is not the weaker sex. Otherwise, nature would not have entrusted us with the creation of life. But one thing I also know is that whatever higher power you may believe in loves you so much that he, she, it, they have given you the power to co-create. So there's not just one path for you to take. There's not just one thing that you need to do. There is something that excites you more than anything else, that you will work harder at than anybody else, because it doesn't feel like work. And whatever that is, you get to do it on your own terms. It's not solely about asking for divine guidance, but also about establishing those rules on your own terms and understanding what may have been standing in the way of you having the courage and the resources for this. This is always an inner game. So I'm going to ask you to decide in this moment that you are ready to take your power back. And that whatever action you may take over the next few days, you are not compromising who you are to the core. So yes, there are some things that we need to do. We're humans and we have responsibilities. I don't believe in burning the house to the ground and running off to the hills. But how might you call back your power, call back those resources, call back the support to get you a little bit closer to your desires? Know that you are supported in that. And that what your heart truly desires, you are a magnet for. So in what way may you be pushing away what is meant for you? And why? And maybe the answers are dropping in immediately, or maybe they will drop in over the next few days or couple of weeks. I remind you that there is no rush. We're in this for the long game. A tree doesn't grow in a day. It grows over time, going through many seasons and many cycles. But the tree never doubts that it will be what it is destined to be. And it can't be anything else than that. So breathing deep, anchoring deep into the earth, taking up the space that was always meant to be yours. And really finding that deep within yourself. Setting the intention to nourish that seed, to tend to the earth, the soil within you, and commit to your own growth. So I'd love you to take a moment to really just move your body gently. If there are any points of tension, or while you were so beautifully focused, maybe a part of your body tensed up. So just bring some awareness, bring some love to that part of your body. Be gentle with yourself. And know that you truly are a creator of your own experience. But how you choose to use that power is really up to you. So I'd love you to take some time to journal on your experience, how it felt. If you found yourself having expectations of yourself, and also if anything surprised you, if there were any details that didn't quite make sense, write them down, because they will make sense eventually. And if you would like to go deeper into excavating all of the different unconscious beliefs that have been stopping you from truly being the creator that you are, I'd love you to check out my mentorship or my membership. Maybe that's for you. It depends how serious and how much action you are willing to take. But just like I said earlier, I'm not going anywhere. Whenever you are ready, whenever you are willing, and whenever you have the strength to just take that first step, I'll be right here to support you. So thank you for joining me. I will send you a link to the replay and a link to the resources that I may support you with. And I wish you a beautiful week. We do have a new moon coming up on the 22nd. I highly encourage you to get really clear on what you desire, because really, truly, the cosmos is trying to support you in doing your part. I heard someone say this. I found it so beautiful. It's if you are not living your purpose, there's a hole in the universe where you are meant to be. And I love that, because no one can fill that hole other than you, and no one can do it in the way that you can. So we often think that other people are somehow doing it better, but no one can be you better than you. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching, if you're watching the replay. And if there's anything that I may ever support you in, please don't hesitate to come and ask me anything. Bye for now.